RadioU, where music is going. Hello, and we are here for a special exclusive interview with none other than Marty from Social Club Misfits. Marty, how you doing, my brother?
I'm doing good. Thank you so much for having me. And I want everyone to know that off camera, Hudson still talks like that. He's still exactly like that. He's amazing, and I love it.
Dude, Hudson's the greatest, man. We love Hudson,
You're
bro.
Hudson, right? No, hold on.
I wish I could be as cool as Hudson, but I'm NayNay. Nice to meet you.
NayNay. Okay, I'm getting everyone's name messed. I kept hearing Hudson.
Dude, that's one of the funniest things
NayNay in
ever.
real life talks just like that. I love his voice. Ask him for, if you ever see him ordering food, double cheeseburger, extra cheese, baby.
Dude, I love it. Dude, one of the things that I love so much about you is you infuse your personality into your music. Like I feel like you're the same person on and off stage, and that's just absolutely incredible. Dude, that's great.
It's a problem. It actually gets me in trouble a lot. So listen, NayNay, I get in the most trouble. Trust me.
Hey, but you know what? You're still being yourself at the end of the day, and I love that. Okay, so I have so many things to just dive in and start asking you. I kid you not, I literally went on Reddit and put out an entire post saying, hey, if you could ask Marty of Social Club Misfits from any question, what would you ask? And so we had this entire list right here. So I think one of the most basic questions is one that we have to rewind all the way back to. So you're a part of a group that's called Social Club Misfits, so it's you and Fern. Why don't you tell us a little bit about how that got started all the years ago?
Absolutely. So, a little bit over 10 years ago, we started Social Club. It's a band from South Florida, and Fern was just getting out of prison. Actually, he had just gotten out of prison. His whole life had been changed, radically saved inside. He came out, and God was doing some incredible stuff in his life. And then I just came out of a really toxic church situation where my faith was just at an all-time low. And we met at a radio station, and you know how some people you just meet, you're fast friends with. You just, connect with them. He's that person for me. So we connected real quick, became friends, started working on music. And if I'm not mistaken, the first song we ever dropped, it was on SoundCloud. It went viral at the time for SoundCloud. And we were like, should we just keep doing this? And we just kept doing it. And God has taken us amazing places. We were signed to Capitol Records, which was incredible. We ended up changing our name to Social Club Misfits. People always ask us why, why Social Club Misfits? It's because at the time, if you were on Spotify and you put Social Club, there was 700 social clubs. And not all of them were Christian, so it was kind of weird. So because you see a band called Social Club and it's two women and they're not dressed appropriately. So I was how do we change this up? So we added Misfits, and people always want to know why Misfits, but we've always called our fans Misfits, and we've always felt like Misfits, and we've always felt like we came from outside of the system into this industry, and we always felt like outsiders, misfits, but I also feel like that's who we're called too. So Social Club Misfits, and that's how we started.
Dude, that's so awesome. I was always kind of curious because I remember some of the songs that you guys put out on SoundCloud because I had a friend that would introduce me to some of your stuff. There was one song that had George Costanza as a cover art too. And I think that's the one he introduced me to. And so that's why I initially got hooked onto y'all's music.
I tell you, you have to understand how many, I have never been told that many times that I'm going to hell before in my life. Before I put that cover out, Christians were going, if this was if I was in Boston, I would have been one of those people set on fire and tarred and feathered. They were so upset that I had George Costanza, but me and Fern, we're Seinfeld fans. And it's like you said, NayNay, I think we want to put our personality in what we do, because that's really how you get to know your favorite artist. So, that cover offended a lot of people, but at the same time, it made us so many fans because fans were like, I get it. And so I'm happy that you were on the other side of that because a lot of people were very upset at me for making that album cover, especially when we started printing shirts.
Oh,
people are going to concerts with naked George Costanza, parents were like, why are you wearing that? Why are you wearing a grown man? And if you didn't know Seinfeld, it's like, why him? Why this guy?
Of all people, it's not like Dwayne The Rock Johnson. It's George Costanza, of anyone.
Yeah. the peak male physical body. I want you everyone
Literally
to know that. Peak
peak.
body. There's two bodies that are peak in male form. There's George Costanza, Tony Soprano. If you want to know what a perfect male body looks like, it's those two together, and that's who we are. Me and Fern, Social Club.
I love that. I love that's how you guys got started with your music. But actually, all throughout these years, your music has kind of taken a different, like a different direction, a different turn. You most recently, and I gotta give you congratulations for this. You've started your own record label. Like, bro,
I
that's
did.
like
I
so
don't know
cool.
why.
Apollo
Why did
Records.
I do it? Why
Oh
did I
yeah,
do
why
it,
did you
NayNay?
do
Why
it,
did I
bro?
decide to give myself more work? I have no idea.
Literally. I
No
mean,
idea.
like, dude, I got to know. Okay, so when it comes to starting a record label, one, how does one even begin to do that? And two, like, where did you get the inspiration to want to start your own record label?
Yeah, absolutely. So, all right. So here's a true story. I've never shared this before, so I'm glad I get to share it here.
Yes.
When we left, so around 2023, our contract was completed with Capitol Records, and Capitol loved us. They actually wanted to re-sign us, and couple other labels had emailed us and was like, "Hey, listen, if you don't go with Capitol, I would love for you to take a meeting with us in New York and Nashville and LA." And we were just praying about it, and I was just fasting about it. And I was like, you know what, Lord, like, what do you have for me though? I love that, being pursued feels great by these corporations and stuff, but I was like, Lord, I want something that is my legacy. And so Apollo is actually my son's name. And so in
Mm.
2023, um, we uh, we found out, me and my wife, we found out we were pregnant, and my son actually was born like 2.5 months early. So we spent
Mm.
the entire from basically October till the middle of January in the NICU hospital. And if you don't know what that
Wow.
is, it's the newborn ICU. It's a really tough place to be at. You're seeing babies pass away. It's like, something you should never have to, and no one should
Mm.
have to experience that, but it's traumatizing almost. And so, every single day, I think we were talking about actually this morning, it was 67 days we were there. And I remember every single day praying and fasting. I fasted every single Monday with my friends for a whole year for my son. And, he was just struggling. And I remember the doctor
Mm.
walked up to me and he said, "Here's the truth. You possibly might go home by yourself today. Your wife, she's going through it right now. Your son, he's going through it. They're both fighting for their lives, and we need to get this baby out immediately, like 2.5 months early." And he was born at 22 weeks, and so he's like, "I just want to prepare you for the reality of what could happen." And in my mind, I'm like, I'm a believer, I'm a Christian, like my testimony happened already. Why am I going through this? And luckily, skip to the end. God gave me a healthy young boy, and when he was born, he was 1.1 pound 6 ounces, so small.
Wow.
He was in a plastic bag like an Xbox. It was really, they put him in this plastic bag, and every single day I would go to the hospital and we spend every single day with him. Christmas, Thanksgiving, we had it in the cafeteria. And, this idea of legacy, I wanted a legacy. I wanted something that, number one, I could educate artists because I wanted artists to be able to be their own bosses. And number two, I wanted to be able to create a sound that was something that I liked, that I felt like wasn't represented in Christian hip hop. And so, Apollo Records comes from that. I have a couple artists. Social Club's on it, of course. Fern's on it, but I have Gavin the Hot Rod. I have Dieris, new artist I just signed out of Ohio.
Yeah.
I have Trey Gad. I have a couple artists, a bunch of distro artists, but the goal is to glorify God in what we do, but at the same time, make music that's authentic to us. And sharing that little story about my son has connected me to so many different people. I always think
Wow.
about that scripture. They overcame by the blood of the Lamb and the word of their testimony. And I
Mm.
think the word of my testimony, and all I had was this like prayer and this promise that God was going to see this through. Before, like 2 years before this, my wife had a dream that she had our son on her shoulders, and we weren't even talking about kids. But I almost held on to that dream, like, Lord, let that dream become a reality, because that's all I have, is that you gave me that word, and I'm going to hold on to it. And it's funny enough, last year that almost prophetic dream came true. I was performing in Vegas, and my son was on my wife's shoulder, and I looked at my wife and I said, "Remember that dream you had from stage?" And people went crazy, and yeah, just
Yo.
powerful. I got goosebumps. I got goosebumps, guys.
Wow.
Yeah,
Dude,
God
that
is incredible.
bro, spoiler alert, God
Yeah,
did, bro.
you
Dude,
did.
that's
You did
awesome.
100%. Yeah.
Dude, that's so incredible to hear. Thank you for sharing that. Dude, it is so cool. I'm always so fascinated to hear story after story of what God can do. And I think that's so
Yes.
incredible to be able to hear. And so now I know with Apollo Records, you've also taken another direction and kind of worked a little bit more on your own solo work. I mean, you just recently put out an album called The One, which it was a
Yeah.
really good album, by the way. I'd say Why is probably my favorite song. The one with Spencer Kane on it. I thought that was really good.
Yeah.
But when it comes to doing your own solo work, what are some of like the advantages and disadvantages that come with doing that as opposed to working with Fern and Social Club Misfits?
Yeah, so, me and Fern, we always saw Social Club as, like, Wu-Tang, like,
Okay.
Wu-Tang is a bunch of members, right? But then Method Man, GZA, RZA, they all do their own thing, but together, no matter what, they are Social Club or they're Wu-Tang, and so no matter what, I always felt like we are Social Club. And so, I was talking to Fern, and I was like, "What do you wanna do?" And, once we're at this label because I really with Capitol, they wanted Social Club. They didn't want us to do anything solo because
Mm.
Social Club was doing well. And so, first thing Fern was like, "Hey, let's just have some fun, like release what we want." And so we started doing stuff together. We released the song "Pray." We released a bunch of new songs and stuff. But I started pursuing this solo career as well. I never did it before, really. And so, Fern, my biggest cheerleader, biggest person was like, "Bro, you got this." That's my brother for life. And so the advantage of it is that I could be as weird as I want, right? So that's good because when you're in a band, you could be weird to an extent. But if the
Mm.
weirdness passes the other people in the band, they're like, "What are you doing here? You're going too
Okay.
crazy." But with Fern, man, Fern is the easiest person to work with. Is one of the fastest songwriters I've met. And so me and him getting in the studio, we could finish an album within like 2 weeks.
Oh my
And that's
gosh.
kind of how we've done every album. We just sat down together and was like, "Hey, however we're feeling right now, let's incorporate it in this album." And so, working with Fern is fun. Working with a band is fun. Working by yourself is hard. It's not easy. So shout out to all the rappers who are doing it independently by themselves. Whether you're an independent label or a corporate label, being an artist is tough. And the hardest part I would say is not having Fern. Having Fern has been an incredible like crutch. Like, I'm too fat, so when I'm performing on stage, I need Fern up there. And if I do really bad on the song, Fern can help me with the song. So in reality, like Fern is really one of the best, one of my best friends, but not only one of my best friends, but one of the best collaborators because he's also okay with all the weird stuff that I do, which is funny. But yeah, Fern's dropping solo music as well. We're dropping. I think my goal, if you were to be like, "What's your goal, Marty?" To drop as much music as possible. I think we're in the era right now where people just want more, and we're
Mm.
having fun doing it and glorifying God. It's almost like this new revolution happening right now, where a lot of great artists are breaking through and doing some new, fresh
Yeah.
things, and we just want to be a part of that, man. Just God's doing something special, and I'm so confident in this generation and what they're doing and their love for the Lord that I'm just so excited to be a part of it.
Yeah, dude, it's incredible to see all the different artists that are coming up, even just in the past couple of years. And it's cool to be able to see you guys pretty much at the forefront of having done this before, too, which is super awesome. So,
Yeah.
this is a question I've been kind of wanting to ask. Actually, I'm pretty sure it came from Reddit, too. So, what is one song that you have regretted making and why? If you have had a
Yeah,
song that you've
I have a
regretted
lot.
making. He said,
I
I have a
have a
lot. The
lot.
flop era is here.
I have a lot. Here's why. All right. So, man, I have a lot. And I would probably say my most regretted song, and the label is probably going to pursue me and be like, "Can you stop saying this?" So you'll get it here for the first time. It's a song from I'm actually looking it up right now, but it's one of those songs where we don't even perform it. We kind of pretend like it doesn't exist.
Hmm.
And it's a song. I hate to say it like this. It's a song with Riley Clemens, and
Okay.
it was our last
Yep.
single from Feared by Hell, I believe it was, and it's Without You. All right. people love that song, and I think it's a good song.
Mm-hmm.
I think one of the reasons why I didn't like it was because we originally made a version of it, and then the radio system was like, hey, we can make this into a radio song, and then they reproduced it, and it just didn't feel like it still had that original vibe that I wanted.
Yeah.
And the truth is, I'm a hip hop artist. I love doing radio music, and radio music is so fun when it comes natural. But it's hard to like force a radio record. You can't force something.
Yeah.
I'm always the type of person where it's like, you got to wait for it to come. And then God is like, here you go. And there have been songs like that. So War Cry is a song that came naturally, right?
Yeah.
That came naturally.
That was good.
That one, when we produced it, we recorded it on the beat that you hear now. Without You, it wasn't recorded on the beat that you hear now. It was a different song. So I felt like that was a little off too. But, it was also one of our most successful radio songs, and I appreciate that. But yeah, it's one of those songs I probably wouldn't have released, or I would have taken a little bit more time. And, NayNay, I'm a producer now myself, so I could have produced it myself the way I wanted it, but at the time we were just a little bit more limited. But that's one of those songs that I wish that I spent a little bit more time on, because the best part of the song is Riley. That's just the truth. And then it would be like Fern, and then I'm the very final, after the beat, I'm fourth good on the song. It's
after
one of
the
those songs
beat.
I'm just not I'm not super confident in, but that has been a topic of conversation around Apollo, because the idea is like, hey guys, I want you guys, I tell this to everybody, and even me and Fern talk like this, I want you to be proud of whatever you release. Whatever you release, I want you to believe in it, because if you could believe that God has given you that song, and this song is for this generation, you're going to be confident in it. Something changes around, just confidence can change a lot. And when you don't feel confident about a song and it does well, it kind of it makes you feel a little bit uneasy, because you're like, I don't know if people are going to know me from this style. And it's funny, I was talking to my buddy yesterday. He was like, "What are my favorite songs?" And I was like, man, I just felt like I could have done better. And that always haunts me. So you'll have Without Me Part 2 coming out soon, and I'll make it the way that I was supposed to make it.
I love that. I love the transparency of that too. Like, I feel like it's not easy to be able to talk about something that you're not the most excited about. So I think that's awesome. Thanks for.
Not everything is coming in hot, Not
I know, right?
You have some of those songs that work and they're great, but also it's important to be. We look at music as, we don't really look at it. I'm not super emotionally connected to everything I do. Like, I also understand, it's to be an artist, you have to like let it go, and so if you're too connected to it, I've realized that artists won't release songs because they're just too emotionally connected to it. A good artist just knows when to say, all right, I'm done, release it. And it's not always gonna be 100%, but also that is art. It's not always supposed to be perfect. Art is supposed to be a little bit messy and supposed to be interesting, and that's the best part of art. And so I don't regret it in the sense of like, I wish it never came out. I just wish I spent a little bit more time on it, but you know how that goes.
That's so good, dude. I love that. Okay, so you guys are about to perform at Immersion Music Fest here really, really soon, all right? It's in Circleville, Ohio. And so I was looking at the stuff to do outside of just this festival and listening to the incredible artists that are going to be there. And I saw that they're going to have like tournaments and an escape room there. So I don't know if you've ever done an escape room before, Marty.
I have.
But
NayNay.
What is it? Isn't it something else? Like, I feel like when it comes,
broke a lamp that was not supposed to be broken because I thought it was a part of the thing. I thought it was a part of the thing, and they have an intercom over your head, so it's like, sir, please stop touching that. You just broke a real lamp, and I was like, I thought the key was in it. I thought that I was allowed to. I thought it was like a Greek restaurant where you could just break the plates. Not the case here, and so I broke a lamp, and then I ripped a coat hanger off the wall that was nailed to the wall,
bro,
because I was like, maybe this is a secret. So anyway, I got banned from Fun Sports 365 in California, Los Angeles.
My gosh.
Fun Sports 365 does not allow me back in there.
All right. So, maybe this one will. So I had a fun question, and this will be the last one, and then I'll let you go. But if you had to bring any CHH artist to go into an escape room with you to get out, not including Fern, you can't pick Fern, who would you pick?
I'd pick my two best friends, my two real best friends in the whole world. I'd pick Andy Mineo and John. Words played, Magic and Bird. They'd be coming with me. And not only would it be incredibly funny because we whenever we get together, we're just laughing. It's all laughter. My stomach hurts. We laugh so hard. But I just feel like if someone was to put like a camera in there and just hear our conversations about I think people would get a kick out of it. But having those two guys would be pretty fun. And it's funny enough, like, was I with them in that LA? No, I wasn't. I wasn't with them in the LA one. Fun Activities 365. But I feel like we'd have a lot of fun, us three, in that escape room. Throwing Fern in there would be the ultimate escape room, but those three would be pretty fun.
Wow, poor Fun Activities 365, man.
It's like Activities 365. You know, I literally broke a coat hook, and I threw the lamp on the ground. I thought the key was in it. I just didn't. There was no light bulb in it, so I was like, "Hey, this has to be a trick." And yeah, apparently the light bulb was at like a different spot, so I didn't see that. So that's shattered. Then they had to like stop the game and sweep it up so no one got hurt for insurance reasons.
Bro.
And then they have to pull you aside and they're like, "Sir, is your name Martin Santiago?" And I'm like, "Yeah, you have to leave. And please don't come back on the premises." I was like, "Okay." So I waited in the car while everyone,
well, everyone
giving
actually
way too much
finished
information
it.
for radio.
Oh my goodness, dude. Well, I'll tell you,
I'm
Marty.
no longer allowed back, NayNay.
But man, I don't even know what to do with that. I'll tell you what, Marty, this has been incredible. I'm excited to get to see you at Immersion Music Fest. If they have an escape room, tell me what, between you and me, we won't tell them about what happened at Activities 365. Yo, let's do it. I'm down. We can jump in and do it.
We're going to raise money for charity.
Exactly.
And you're going to see me break everything inside.
Exactly.
Thinking that I'm smarter than everybody. And, I'm going to set the place on fire. I don't want to do it, but sometimes you just need to get out.
Sometimes you just need to do what you need to do in order to raise money for charity. Guys, I love this. Thank you so much, Marty, for being here on the show. This was incredible. Thank you so much, and we cannot wait to see you next.
God bless y'all. Excited to be there. RadioU, number one, thank you for everything you guys do for us. Man, you guys are one of the few stations that plays good music, and I love that, and you guys are incredible, and we can't wait to hang with y'all.